Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and many in the world of Johnny Depp are abuzz because they're supposed to unseal a lot of court documents that are supposed to reveal all the tea. It's going to get so juicy. I'm having trouble figuring out what's coming out. I wanted to bring on the amazing and the real Laura B to break down this news that has all of us in Justice for Johnny Land buzzing. Let's break it down, Laura. So what we know so far, and here's lawyer Andrea Burkhart saying that yes, Judge Ascardi has ordered a ton of documents and sealed. She's now only withholding personal contact information, jury identifying information, confidential settlement discussions like from previous things, and some personal medical records. Those are the only things that will remain sealed. But here it is. Here's the document, the protective order put in place that says, yes, all of these documents that had previously been sealed are now going to be unsealed. And this was something Elaine and team were kind of trying to avoid. Again, always trying to avoid something. There's some other documents here that will remain sealed, but only because of these mentions. And the seal, I'm assuming, is sort of the black. This is sort of like the when they censor and block certain evidence on certain documents. A lot of it was withheld, or certain documents altogether were withheld. And now we are supposed to get a big dump from the courthouse over in Fairfax, which you guys can go look. Now the problem is they've said this is there, but nothing's shown up, Laura.
No, I don't know.
What can you break down sort of what you suspect is happening here, or what we have so far?
Well, I think there's two things. There's the unsealing, and maybe there's pages that are there that have, like you said, the black mark that's redacted. Maybe they're going to take out the redacted part, unless, of course, it's personal information. I don't think these documents are ever going to be uploaded, but I was told that earlier, and then they changed their mind. So what happened at the last hearing when they were signing the verdict on June 24th, and Elaine was like, hey, I want to get more motions in, and Judge Ascardi says, no, I'm done with this case. I'm finished. It's over. No more. And at that time, she also meant we're not servicing the website anymore. We're not uploading anything. We're done. So my contact told me that that's true. That's absolutely true. They're not uploading anything. If you want them, you have to apply for these documents. They're 50 cents a page plus $2 for the seal. And then Elaine went on that Friday, July 1st, and released her motion. She leaked it to the press. And it got all this buzz over the weekend about setting aside the verdict and all these issues against why it's too high in the damages and things like that. But at the very last one was about Juror 15. Yep. So that was all a buzz this weekend. And I can just imagine that Judge Ascardi was not happy that that was leaked out. She does not want this trial going onward into the media. It's done. The verdict's done. Well, so a week goes by, and of course, Ben, he answers that motion like he's supposed to, and I guess there'll be a ruling. Judge Elaine didn't stop there. The following Friday, this whatever, the 7th or 8th, she did it again. She wrote a whole supplemental motion about the Juror 15 and released it to the press to deadline again. And I think Judge Ascardi just got fed up and said, nope, not happening in my court. And she decided to upload those last motions and her order. She wanted the public to see her order. But my understanding, this is it. They're not going to service this website anymore. I don't even know. They may take it down at some point. I don't know. Now, if you go up a little higher, you'll see trial exhibits. Yep. There's a lot of exhibits there that were presented that are under that tab, and that includes all the audios and stuff. So I'm saying, guys, if you want something, you might want to download it. I don't know.
Now's the time, and we should, exactly. I'll make sure our team does as well, and I'm sure keep your own archives of all this in case we need to come back and fall back upon it. But you may need to go manually order and get these next documents. In fact, Laura, I'll help fund that for you. So please let us know, because I'd love to make sure we have, if anything is needed, let's have full transparency here and make sure we do it. But as we see in this order, I mean, you could tell she's fed up. I mean, as it says here, protective orders now matter. In this matter, was put in place to protect sensitive information and ensure an untainted jury. In this matter, both litigants sued one another, thereby opening themselves up to public form of jury trial. Court records are public information. The case is now concluded, and therefore the court carefully reviewed all documents that were filed under seal. So, and what's interesting is what's interesting is we see this list. There's no transcripts. There's no depositions. I mean, those are in this notice of filing, which we know a lot of stuff here. Some of it filed under seal, but this isn't in there. I was trying to get confirmation.
You go back to that again. Nothing in that Nothing in that order matches this. There's no transcripts of hearings mentioned. Right. There's nothing in that order about documents being sealed. I think this is just a general order that judge made over. I mean, they can look at all the documents. They call them the redlined on the system. We're removing all the red lines. We're taking them all out. And Elaine argued, no, there's a protective order in place. And they said, no, the protective order is over. Well, there's some personal information. So they did go and look at some of that stuff. But none of that correlates to this notice of filing that Elaine put, that you see to be filed under seal. So this is the notice of filing for the appeal. And I guess this stuff is staying under seal because none of this matches that order.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure. Because of the appeal, is that why it's staying under seal?
Maybe.
I'm asking Christopher. We've been texting. He did write back. I was about to say it should all be public unless a protective order was issued. Not sure the test for sealing in Virginia and California must find that an individual's right of privacy outweighs the public's right to know, and the redactions are narrowly tailored. But as this says here at the top, so you guys can see it too, it says here that the protective order was put in place to ensure an untainted jury. Yeah, that's really what the reason was, right? And so now with the jury decided and the jury's over, this, as it says, this case is now closed. Therefore, boom, here you go, guys. There's nothing to untaint, so let's see it all, right?
Right. As far as the red line documents, all the motions, all the prior litigation is coming out. The transcripts, we never saw the transcripts. I mean, we saw occasionally they would do sections of a transcript, excerpts in their motion, but they were never uploaded. So I don't expect we could go in there and pay for them and get them, but I don't know that they're going to be unsealed. Now, my source did say they're not sure what they're going to do about the depositions videos, how they're going to handle those. And I guess there's further discussion on that next week. Like if I were to go in there and say, hey, I want the video of so-and-so's full deposition, or the transcript, I don't know that they've made that decision yet. But this is strictly the red line documents and pre-litigation that they're now going to release. Because they didn't want to taint the jury. Yeah, they don't want the jury to have information that wasn't supposed to be admitted into the case.
The question of I'm sorry, he's writing back. I'm going to read you guys in 1 second. But because before he wasn't available before, but now he's texting me back. The videos, I'm curious because does that traditionally happen in cases? I'm asking him right now to get the video. I'll tell you before we wrap, so stay tuned. It's weird to me. I guess my question to you is like, as everyone's been buzzing and everyone's telling me, oh, get ready, Andy, lots of info dump, a lot of stuff's gonna get unsealed, oh, lots exposed. Do you think there really is anything here that's gonna blow the water? What are you waiting for? That what do you suspect is types of things that we're gonna get out of this info dump once we finally get it?
Well, we're gonna get a lot of disinformation based on my experiences with what the defense has filed in their motions. They use these motions to taint Johnny. This is a smear campaign. Anything they write in the motion is protected. He can't sue them for defamation. And a lot of times they use these motions to go out to the public to say, look, Johnny did a bad thing. Johnny's not providing me with his medical records. They're going to say bad things. One of the things that I'm more concerned of is the defense had filed a motion for Johnny to have to take an IME, for example. And that like Dr. Curry, they won. Dr. Curry had, Amber Heard had visited with Dr. Curry.
An IME medical evaluation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amber Heard, the judge ruled, yes, you've put your mental state on the table for some reason, and you have to do this. They tried to get Johnny to do it. So I'm imagining there's stuff in that motion to make Johnny look bad, why he should have to take this mental test, this exam. So that kind of stuff I feel bad about because we've read her. We just read about the jury. It was just lie after lie after lie, disinformation, distraction, twisting.
So you're more worried about stuff coming out to that's going to try to paint Johnny badly, which at this point, I don't know, who cares? He won. It's over.
There's not much.
But do you think there's going to be anything that reveals Team Elaine and Amber's sort of continued sneakery? You know what I mean? Do we suspect there's more in that could be come out of this?
I think we're going to see a lot because of her counterclaim. It opened up her discovery hugely, and I think there's a lot of stuff that you're going to see defendants' motion is going to be unsealed. They don't want a lot of their own responses and stuff. But no, that's the only thing. I could see her putting in while I was married to Depp, he was taking all these medications. That's none of our business. you know, that's the only thing. But there's very little here against that I could perceive against Johnny. Almost everything here is really going to be against her, I believe.
Well,
through them.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. Interesting. I'm not getting back from him in time. I know he's been busy. Sorry, but I will try and update you guys on the live. Is our depositions typical? I mean, the ones that were seen, obviously we got, but the ones that weren't, are they? Like some of these, the full unedited. I mean, most of it was shown unedited. Honestly, I felt like we watched it all during the trial, Laura.
I know you think you did, but I don't know how much you all saw through your stream. I know what I heard sitting in the court. So every Friday they had these hearings, and they would be there from like 8:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And what they were doing was they were round robbing tables. They were going over these deposition videos right up through the trial of, I'm going to show this part. No, you can't show this part. And they were editing these videos for testimony. And then the judge ultimately approved it. And they were doing that every Friday, that they were going through these full deposition videos. It wasn't pretrial.
Oh, here we go. So we just got the reply. The order from Christopher. Order unsealing documents appears to list only documents that the parties filed in court, identified as exhibits for trial, or certain trial transcripts like sidebars. Depositions are typically not marked as exhibits or filed with the court. Those are pre-trial. That's why those aren't listed. There may be a process to order a copy. California, the public can get a copy of a depo transcript by contacting corporates, but you have to know who that is. I think you're spot on. A lot of this stuff is probably available or was available, will continue and can be, and good people like Laura are gonna have to go figure it out and actually get it in hand copy. Stay tuned. I know you've been covering a lot. Are you feeling the fatigue like many of us are? Yeah. I mean, you were covering the Rocky Brooks case. I know you did a lot to do that, as well as then the insurance claims that came in. And so it's just now there's a ton of information here, and it's the question is, people are I think moving on, as we should, honestly, but at the same time we want to make sure we've exposed all of the truth. Where do you stand on it all amidst the fatigue?
Yeah, I definitely have the mental fatigue, and I'm starting to mix up some things too, which is odd because I've been doing this for so many years. This case, there's gonna be a lot of new information, but what for? The verdict's done. Nothing we're going to get now is going to change it. The mainstream media, I mean, that NBC documentary is just, I didn't watch it. I heard enough about it.
We were in it, Laura.
I know, I had a cameo.
But yeah, seriously, it was gross.
I mean, the whole message is still going to continue. All men are bad. Believe all women. Depp should take one for the team and just lied down and not said anything. So who cares if she lied? It hurts all the other victims. You know, this was it's just never going to stop. That narrative is going to carry over. We can shout from the top of the hills, look, there's more in these documents that this person lied. And they're going to go, yeah, but that's not our narrative. We're not going to backpedal from our narrative. So I don't know what's this going to do for us, for Johnny, other than just keep it going.
Right, which
there's going to be an appeal. Now the appeal is not going to be anything public. It's all documents. It's all.
And she's going to lose the appeal. We know it's so clear cut. I've talked to every lawyer is just like, no, there's no chance she has any basis, because as Christopher's told them, like they would have to have had a massive failure from the judicial side of the judge or the jury or somebody to really make that go by. And from I feel like all sides who watch, they don't ever discredit Judge Asgardi. Like she was really, really good. I feel like she was patient. She gave both sides little wins. She tried to be as impartial as possible. And how on earth do you attempt to say she did wrong in this case? You know what I mean?
Right. And I think the only argument that they could come in is like, look, for example, this is not hearsay. She ruled this is hearsay. This should have come in. And Depp's team would be like, well, wait a minute. She ruled the same way for us. So it wasn't like they let our hearsay in and not your hearsay in. So it was unilateral rulings, unless they can prove that she somehow was completely biased, which I absolutely don't think she was. I think she bent over backwards for Amber to bring her case.
They can, and we talked about it. Christopher brought this up the first time, and it's never left my mind since. Elaine makes the excuse in the documentary, this terrible NBC documentary in quotes, and makes it clear, like, well, the jury clearly looked up the information. They clearly were tainted. But it's like, well, wait, Elaine, you can't have it both ways. I thought you had this mountain of evidence that didn't get in the court as well. So you're telling me the jury just ignored your mountain of evidence and accepted Johnny's? Like if they looked online, which sure, maybe some of them did, you had both sides of evidence out in the world that they were going to be able
Yeah.
to research. So you don't get to just say because they went online, they went Team Johnny. It makes no sense.
Well, and I've said this, if they went online, the very first thing they would have looked up is what they were cramming down their throats was the UK trial.
Yep.
And that was against Johnny. That would have biased them against him, if anything.
Yeah, they would have been like, well, look, he already was guilty
So-
in that trial. He must be guilty here. I'll phone it in.
That's what I'm thinking.
And they
So I
didn't
don't
because
think
I look, even if they did look it up, they had opportunities to look up both sides. It's a stupid excuse. And the whole thing's, it is over is the reality. The appeal is not going to go anywhere. We will obviously keep you updated. I know you guys want to be updated, but we are going to attempt to pivot to some more stuff. And yes, if we do get some more information from this info dump of documents that are coming out from the court, we'll let you know. But it does seem like it's starting to be, it's wearing down. There's not, unless we get some huge reveals of Elaine and team or even Johnny's team doing something, we'll let you know. In the meanwhile, be warned, it looks like we're going to have to wait a little while to get the stuff or someone's going to have to go pay for it. Final thoughts from you, Laura?
Yeah, my biggest gripe about the social media thing was they shot themselves in the foot. They stood there with their specialists going, look at this. The hashtag justice for Johnny Depp gets like millions and millions of hits. And they're basically telling the jury, the millions and millions of people want Johnny Depp to get justice.
Yep.
What was the point of that?
It made no sense. So much.
And Wayne was like, I think I'll just end it there. You made my case.
Make sure you go support Laura over on Twitter at The Real Laura B and on YouTube now. So happy. Man, we blew past 10,000, already over 12,000. Make sure, let's get her to 15,000. Go check her out on YouTube. Please keep talking, not only just about this stuff, but anything. Start pivoting. We love hearing your insight and learn more about Laura over on YouTube and on Twitter. And always appreciate you being here. Always love talking to you. And make sure if you haven't already, subscribe here as well. Hit the button, hit the bell for all alerts so you get notified. Smash the like button for the engagement as well as the comments on both of our channels, because that's how it works in the algorithm here over on YouTube. We will be live later today, I hope. That's my plan. It'll be around 1:30-ish. If not, tune in Monday. A lot going on, but I hope to see you soon. Love you guys so much. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. Bye.